Kamala being like, I'm not going to release my policies until I'm elected. That's like me being like, no, you're going to give me the job and I'm going to show you my resume after. This is literally insane. You have to have such a low IQ voter base to even get away with one of the things she's done.
Breaking news out of the White House this afternoon is Donald J. Trump has confirmed that the economy actually is fine and that prices are actually too low. He said, quote, right now I could go to the grocery store, easily spend $600. That's so little money. He went on to say that egg prices have dropped almost 84%. And in some grocery stores, you can get them for a nickel. He said of the grocery store prices, I don't know why no one's talking about this, but I have fixed them. How do I know? Because I go to a grocery store at least once a week and compare meat deals. And I'm telling you, meat last week was $10. This week, I got it for 4 cents at Safeway.
The same people who said that Kamala had no policy and she wants them to vote for her are the same people now complaining that, you know what, the economy is so hard, we can no longer deal. You know, they are now out there crying because of all of this tariff, the mass deportation, everything that is happening. These MAGAs are currently facing it squarely by themselves, and for some of them it is just normal, while others are crying out and speaking out. Some of them feel like, oh, we should just support him, it is us who voted for him, so we got to support him, and of course let's be patient and just give it time, everything is going to be all right. And this was the same people who didn't want to give Biden a chance. Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I have some clips which I'm just going to let roll, then we come back with the commentary. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. And credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
So I recently had to move back home and I live with my dad. My dad's MAGA. He's not like crazy MAGA, you know, he doesn't do rallies and do all that, but like anytime politics gets brought up, you know, blame the Dems. You know, I don't like him as a person, it's what he says, but he's a businessman. I've already fought him, don't even, yeah. Anyway, recently, the behavior is changing. He's not getting brought up as much. You know, used to, like, you could connect anything with politics. Like, I love my dad. I love him so much. He is a boomer. And he does that thing where he'll just, anything can be brought back to politics. Hasn't been doing that recently. Hasn't really been defending Elon recently. He's even talking shit about the Republican Party as a whole recently. He talked shit about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I was like, fuck yeah. I loved that one. Yeah. Getting to bond with my dad over talking shit about that little bitch. That, and I live in Alabama now. Oh my God. So many Trump flags are coming down, y'all. Like, slowly but surely.
Well, so much for that drill, baby, drill shit you guys just love to chant over and over again. Because now that Trump has raised the tariffs on China like 245% now, he's raised it again, China has stopped 90% of oil imports to them from us. So we're not going to be exporting 90% of our oil to China. They're going to Canada instead. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever met. Drill, baby, drill!
How could you say you're a Christian and you love God, but you voted for Donald Trump and he's a rapist and he's a felon and he's a horrible person and yada yada? To me, it's very obvious, but I believe that there has to be some people who ask that question because they genuinely are curious. So I'm going to answer from a religious perspective. Otherwise, politics aside. Number one, I serve a forgiving God. When Donald Trump got pew-pewed in the ear and then he continued to say, I feel like God saved me for a reason, I am not to say that he is not redeemed. Whether he is or isn't, though, that's between him and God. So let's just say that he isn't. His sins are between him and God. Kamala's sins between her and God. My sins between me and God. Your sins between you and God, etc. We are told that no one sinner is better than the other. No one sin is worse than the other, unless it's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, then that's the unforgivable sin. But otherwise, all sins are created equally. So for me to vote based on who is the better sinner, that wouldn't even make any sense, nor is that my place to say. What I am voting on from a religious perspective is, are either of these candidates going to do or implement anything that is going to directly impact my relationship with God? And the answer, if I would have voted for Kamala Harris and she would have won, is absolutely 100%. When you implement policies that say we are going to protect gender over sex, that in my eyes is saying we are going to protect fake reality over reality and truth. Forcing me to live in a lie is forcing me to live in sin. If my kid went to school and their teacher was a male but they wanted to be called a female and we had to abide by that, that is forcing me to live acknowledging lies as the truth, because adopting that is not reality and is not the truth. And Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We cannot live in a lie. If you are living that way, yes, you are living in sin. Now, does that mean that I love you any less? No, that is your sin. That is between you and God. But when you ask somebody else to adopt your sin as their way of life, that is a problem. But when I'm casting a vote, like I said, I'm not casting it for who I think is the better person or who I think has a better relationship with God. Even though Kamala openly dissed Jesus in front of millions of people, I'm not even touching on that. Right now, I'm just talking about policies that were going to be implemented that were going to directly affect my relationship with God and how I lived my life. Now, if this doesn't make any sense to you, you need to go cry to your mom or something, but that's the answer.
So with all the Dre Baby Let's Do, okay, that happened during the campaign, all of you were just, all these MAGAs were everywhere talking about it. Are you guys still going to be drilling? Because if you have placed tariff on almost all the countries, who then is coming to buy all of those things that you guys are drilling? Or are you drilling just for the US market? I really want to understand, right? Are you drilling only for the US market? Because I know that most times when countries do like this, it's usually for other people to buy from them so that the country can as well make money. But right now, with the whole tariff that is being placed on different countries, how then are you guys going to make money after the whole drilling? And has it started? Okay, because yeah, has it started? Have you guys started drilling? And when is all of this actually, how much is it going to yield, like make a lot of money? Are countries coming to buy, right? Those countries, have they started coming to buy, or are there taxes or tariff placed on these countries? Because if they're placed on them, then everything that is coming from the US, because those people will still retaliate, right? Abi, they already have this tariff on the US, so they are going to be paying for it, right? So let me know in the comment section, how is the drilling going, right? All the MAGAs, how is the whole drilling system going? Because you guys always have this ideology of the whole drilling thing. We can bring our own gas, we can do this, we can do that. That's the reason why you also want manufacturers in the US. You want them to live where they have raw materials and move to the US to keep their, start up their processing instead of them staying in that country. Well, it is what it is, because some of these organizations might not be able to move to the US, reason best known to me and you, because if you cannot provide the raw materials that is needed, and taxes or tariffs are being placed on the countries where they're going to be bringing them from, how then will they move to the US to stay when they know they're going to be spending more money? But if organizations or manufacturers are in China and they're getting their raw materials, trust me, US is not their only market. Yes, you guys buy a lot, right? Nobody will dispute that. US is a great market, it's a big market, yeah, but you guys are still not the only people buying from these people, right? So they will compare and contrast which will favor them. Is it moving to the US and have to serve only the US economy? And I think I've made an illustration here before that it's so easy for you it's easier to get a Chinese visa than to get a US visa. So most people, okay, who shop from China and have their suppliers in China will still prefer to go to China than coming to the US, because the documentation, the everything that it takes for you to get a US visa, it's a long process. So people who will be doing business with these guys will still prefer to travel to China than to travel to the US, going through all the visa processing hitch and all of that. Except US is trying to tell us that they're going to try as much as possible to make maybe visa processing very easy for everybody, which is also possible depending on what anybody wants to do, depending what the country decides to do. But let me know, do you think manufacturers would prefer to leave this place and move to this place? I know you guys want manufacturers to come back to the US market. I think first thing is to tackle what sent them out in the first place. Why did manufacturers decide to move to this place? For me, I just feel it's raw materials, right? I feel it's raw materials and access to the market. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. And please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well so that more people can see it. And please subscribe to my channel, okay? I want to get to 30,000 this month, and it's still possible with you all. So please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much guys for watching. See you on my next video. Bye guys.